I seriously have a big lump in my throat, and it's hard because I lost a lot of people.
The reality of the tragedy on James Smith Cree Nation and Weldon in September 2022 still hits close to home for James Smith leadership. Now, one day after the coroner's inquest brought 29 recommendations, Indigenous groups are calling for action.
What happened was preventable if there was resources in place, if there was supports in place. But we see that there's no transition homes, there's no access to culture.
After the inquest heard, RCMP took 20 minutes to arrive on James Smith Cree Nation that day. The groups say the focus is now set on First Nations policing.
The James Smith Cree Nation tragedy shows as a prime example of how the lack of local First Nations police and justice services added to the vulnerabilities of First Nations.
Newly elected AFN National Chief Cindy Woodhouse calling on $3.6 billion in the federal budget, funding for Indigenous self-administered policing. However, that process could be lengthy.
Yes, self-administered policing is going to help, but it's not going to be quick enough. So in the meantime, we need a better response time for our community and the rest of Indigenous communities.
RCMP Assistant Commissioner Rhonda Blackmore acknowledges that need for funding. She believes all First Nations in Saskatchewan need attention.
Our mandate was to protect First Nations people. And that is a very important mandate for us, and we are very much determined to do better than some of the very black marks that we have in our history in the past related to residential schools.
The inquest brought a number of recommendations for James Smith Cree Nation leadership as well. The nation's leadership says it will discuss with its members before making any decisions. Eastonham Global News.